Hi, welcome back to the Gnome Home series. Last time I installed the lighting. Today I'm in the bedroom, covering the walls, building in the bunk beds, the shelves and starting on some floors. First step before I can put the bunks in place is to paper mache and paint the wall behind the bunks. It's a lot easier to do before the bunks are in place. If you aren't familiar with paper mache techniques, I use a 50-50 mix of water and white glue. Then I dip torn pieces of paper towel in the glue mix, wipe off the excess glue and spread the paper towel over the areas that you want to cover. All the walls and ceilings in the Gnome Home are now covered in paper mache and it's nice and dry. Here are the built-in bunks are constructed out of cardboard. I'll need to paint the bunk platforms before I install it, as well as the wall behind it. It's a pretty snug fit, but there are still a few gaps around the edge, so to secure it in place I will use rolled up tinfoil and masking tape. The tinfoil helps form those nice curved corners that I wanted. If you're new to this channel, click subscribe so you don't miss any new uploads. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I decided to fill the empty space at the end of the bunk beds by making a study desk and shelves, so I cut the pieces out of 5mm thick balsa wood. Excuse the bouncer camera work, the tripod was sitting on a very wobbly table. Sand the cut edges nice and smooth. Give them a coat of paint. Like the truly distracted crafter that I am, I'm back in the bedroom now and adding paper mache over the front of the bunk beds where I added the masking tape and tinfoil. Okay, so I've got a little update. I've got this all paper mache'd in, so it's nice and secure and pretty sturdy. But then I thought, I pre-painted these and then it'd be all that was going to be seen from the outside. But then I realised when I was sitting in a different spot that you can actually see inside and they're not looking very tidy. So I thought I need to tidy those up, and I've come up with this. Cut these bits of card and I've painted them the same colour as the back wall, and I'm just going to slot them in and glue them in there. Luckily I can just sort of put them through and flip them up, and that'll solve that problem. In this gap you saw me cutting some pieces of wood, so I have, as you see, I've painted them. I started off with, what was the colour? Burnt sienna, I think. Yeah. And then I did some dry brushing with some burnt umber, which is the darker colour, and some touch of sand arena, which is the colour of the wall, just to give a bit of texture and to make it look more like wood. And you notice I've curved out these corners because that's curved in there. And what I'm going to do is, oh, she's a bit tight. I might have to sand them down a little bit to make sure they fit properly. But I'm going to glue them into place when I decide exactly what heights they're going to go. And then I'm going to paper clay, make some paper clay at some point, and I'll do a round underneath and stuff, so they look like they're built into the walls. But they still need a coat of varnish because I'm not really happy with the matte finish on them. I'll give them a good coat of varnish to protect them. So that, and gluing these puppies into place inside here, and that is the main tasks to do next. And you might be able to hear a funny noise in the background. It's just Mr. Nessie chopping wood. At least it keeps him off the streets. He's busy and we keep warm. So see you with the next one. So as I mentioned previously, here I am gluing in the end panels to tidy up the inside of the bunks. The desk and shelves have been dry fit and waiting to be glued into place. Okay, now I'm going to mark out where I want the shelves to be positioned, so I know where to put the twine brackets. I'll explain a little more about that in a moment. I cut pieces of twine the same length as the shelves. Cover the twine thoroughly with white glue and then I press it in place on the walls where I marked them. Once they're dry, they'll form strong, narrow brackets to brace the shelves in place when I glue them in. As promised in the title, there is some flooring action in this video. I took a shortcut and painted both the dining room floor and the mezzanine floor in the living room with burnt umber to fake wood flooring. Once the base coat is dry, start dry brushing lighter shades of brown and beige over the top. Try to keep all the brush strokes going in the same direction if you can to create the illusion of wood grain. While I'm in the mood for painting and all the paper mache is dry, I'm making some texture paint instead of paper clay. I'll put the recipe on screen. It's 2 ounces of paint and 5 to 6 teaspoons of baking soda. Mix it well and paint it all over the walls and ceiling in the bedroom. Take care to avoid covering the lights. This is how it looks all painted up. Once it's dry, I'll be able to glue the desk and shelves in place on top of the twine brackets using contact adhesive. And here it is so far. Come over to Facebook to join in the fun at Nessie Monster Crafts. The link is in the description below. And hit the notification bell here so you don't miss out on any new uploads. My next video will be out in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!